Hey guys, this is Tiqqle. We're going through the Destruction Warlock changes for 7.1.5. Like the other videos, we're going to go through the facts, so you guys don't have to go through the essays of notes on MMO or Wowhead. Like my other videos, we're going to go through the artifact changes, skills, talents, PvP talents. Since there are no artifact changes, we can just skip right to the skills. The first change happening to Destruction Warlocks is that there's an aura being applied, and now an aura is how Blizzard raises a whole lot of skills at the same time. So for Destruction Warlocks, their damage and dot damage is going up for 4% for the listed abilities. This is a way for Blizzard to quickly make these kind of overall buffs or nerfs to classes. In this patch specifically, we're seeing a lot of aura application to the different classes. Some classes are getting 4% like Destruction Warlocks. Some are getting up to 16%, I think is where Enhancement Shaman landed, so it depends. So we'll see how this shakes out when the patch gets released. Enslaved Demon is being modified a little bit. They're increasing the level of the demon that you can capture by 2, I think. In the data mined patch notes, what we see is that it says enslaves the target demon for up to level 55. That's what 7.1 was. In 7.1.5, it now says 57. I think this was the base level, so I'm assuming once you get to level 110, this now is going to be up to level 111 mob. Conflagrate's being changed, but it's really a change to Backdraft. So Backdraft is going to have an additional 5-second duration of that plus 30% cast speed for Incinerate Chaos Bolt. Going into the Destruction Warlock talent changes. The first change I want to go over are the swaps and replacements in the talent tree. First off, Cataclysm and Eradication are swapping places in the tree. They've taken out the mana tap ability, which consumed your mana to give you a 10% damage increase buff. Now what they've done is they've made it so life tap now increases your damage by 10%. So this means you don't have to dump your mana to get that 10% buff. Instead, you have to just use a life tap, which takes off 10% of your max HP for 30% max mana, and that will give you the 10%. I see this as a buff because this means that there's more uptime for this buff on the Warlock, especially in PvE, where they can life tap and can just be healed by their 5 healers in the raid. And even in PvP, if they have a healer and they're being babysat, then they should be fine with this. And they should be able to have this up a lot more often. Backdraft for the Destruction Warlock is changing a little bit. So instead of Conflagrate reducing the cast time for Incinerate and Chaos Bolt by 30% for 5 seconds, now the next 2 Incinerates or Chaos Bolts will be reduced by 30 seconds. Now, this is a pretty big buff, seeing as the cast time for these 2 abilities would have only likely allowed 2 full casts of the abilities to go off, but if there was in PvP, for example, if they got interrupted or they got knocked around, they might lose this window, this 5-second window, so now it's just a buff for the 2 casts. So this is a pretty nice buff. Shadow Burn's being modified. Instead of generating 2 soul shards if the target dies, now Shadow Burn is going to generate 1 shard immediately without having the target need to die, and then if the target dies, you get another one. So this is a buff because you're going to be able to be generating soul shards without even killing the target. Reverse Entropy just has a tooltip update. They reorganized the words in the sentence, and they also made it so it wasn't quite as confusing because it made it seem like in 7.1 that there was a reduced cast time on Rain of Fire, which doesn't really make sense because there is no cast time. So no big update here. Demonic Circle had the duration increased by 9 minutes. Mortal Coil now gives an additional 9% max HP healed. Soul Harvest base duration will be increased by 5 seconds. And the maximum possible duration is increased by 5 seconds. Grimoire of Sacrifice is being nerfed. The scaling on this is being reduced by 25%. Channel Demon Fire is being buffed. Blizzard is adding Fire Splash damage to each of the Fell Bolts. That's it for the talents. Now let's go into the PvP tree. Essence Drain is being nerfed. Each stack of damage reduction is now a stack of 5%, not 10%. So this means at the max stacks of 5, you will be reducing damage by 25%, down from 50%. Pretty big nerf. Cremation's been modified a little bit. Instead of Immolate being an instant cast, they're making Incinerate automatically apply Immolate. So this kind of reduces that additional spamming of the button to instant cast Immolate to keep it up on your target. This is kind of nice and reduces the button spamming. Focused Chaos is definitely a change that I think is being focused on by a lot of the PvPers. Chaos Bolt increased damage is going from 150 to 100% increased damage. This is a 50% decrease in the Chaos Bolt damage. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is going to change how Destruction Warlocks are viewed in PvP, or if you don't think this is a big change. Firestone's having a 20-second cooldown reduction. Entrenched in Flames is going from a root of 4 seconds to a root of 3 seconds. Oh my gosh, thank you. This is the most annoying thing to be cast on you. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Fell Fissure is being buffed. They're adding a 50% movement speed reduction. And that's it. Those are the changes to the Destruction Warlock. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything, if you disagree with anything that I said. If you want to see any other class videos before this coming patch next week, I'd be happy to put that together for you guys. This video is specifically dedicated to Jordan Gash. As always, thanks a lot guys for your support. Like, subscribe, and comment. I'll be putting out some more videos for some different classes and the changes coming up soon. Stay tuned. See you later.